Nature made me happy and good, and if I am otherwise, it is society's fault. Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains. One thinks himself the master of others, and still remains a greater slave than they. Trust your heart rather than your head. The world of reality has its limits. The world of imagination is boundless. As soon as any man says of the affairs of the state, "What does it matter to me?" the state may be given up for lost. People who know little are usually great talkers, while men who know much say little. I prefer liberty with danger than peace with slavery. In any case, frequent punishments are a sign of weakness or slackness in the government. There is no man so bad that he cannot be made good for something. No man should be put to death, even as an example, if he can be left to live without danger to society. I would rather be a man of paradoxes than a man of prejudices. In truth, laws are always useful to those with possessions and harmful to those who have nothing, from which it follows that the social state is advantageous to man only when all possess something and none has too much. Virtue is a state of war, and to live in it, we have always to combat with ourselves. There is no subjection so perfect as that which keeps the appearance of freedom. Everything is good as it comes from the hands of the maker of the world, but degenerates once it gets into the hands of man. I hate books. They only teach us to talk about things we know nothing about. There is nothing better than the encouragement of a good friend. We must powder our wigs. That is why so many poor people have no bread. Truth is an homage that the good man pays to his own dignity. Liberty may be gained, but can never be recovered. Being wealthy isn't just a question of having lots of money. It's a question of what we want. Wealth isn't an absolute. It's relative to desire. Every time we seek something that we can't afford, we can be counted as poor. How much money we may actually have. It is too difficult to think nobly when one thinks only of earning a living. To be sane in a world of madmen is in itself madness. Love known to the person by whom it is inspired becomes more bearable. What wisdom can you find greater than kindness? Or rather, let us be more simple and less vain. Every person has a right to risk their own life for the preservation of it. All wickedness comes from weakness. The child is wicked only because he is weak. Make him strong, he will be good. He who could do everything would never do harm. She was dull, unattractive, couldn't tell the time, count money or tie her own shoelaces, but I loved her. It is easier to conquer than to administer. With enough leverage, a finger could overturn the world, but to support the world, one must have the shoulders of Hercules. The only moral lesson which is suited for a child, the most important lesson for every time of life is this: never hurt anybody. Those that are most slow in making a promise are the most faithful in the performance of it. Civilization is a hopeless race to discover remedies for the evils it produces. A born king is a very rare being. Absolute silence leads to sadness. It is the image of death. Once you teach people to say what they do not understand, it is easy enough to get them to say anything you like. Guys, which quotes did you like the most? Tell me in the comments. And if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Bye bye.